In the heart of Central Africa, where the relentless Sahara stretches its golden fingers southward, and the emerald embrace of the Central African forest rises to meet it, Zakouma National Park emerges as a breathtaking oasis. Here, the land is a living tapestry, woven from the threads of two worlds, arid desert and lush woodland, colliding and blending in a spectacle of contrasts. The park's boundaries are not drawn by fences or roads, but by the subtle, ever-shifting line where sand gives way to grass and thorny scrub yields to dense, tangled canopies. Zakouma is a sanctuary sculpted by nature's hand, a rare jewel set between extremes, where the harshness of the desert softens into the promise of life. To the north, the Sahara's vast expanse dominates the horizon, its sun-baked dunes and cracked earth whispering tales of endurance and survival. The air shimmers with heat and the land seems to sleep beneath a veil of dust. Yet, as one moves southward, the landscape transforms. The parched ochre tones of the desert gradually yield to the deep greens of the forest, where ancient trees stand sentinel and the undergrowth pulses with hidden life. Zakouma sits at this extraordinary crossroads, a living mosaic where the boundaries of desert and forest dissolve, creating a patchwork of habitats that support an astonishing diversity of life. The geography of Zakouma is shaped by the memory of water. Ancient riverbeds, carved by millennia of seasonal floods, wind their way through the park, their courses marked by ribbons of green that snake across the savanna. In the dry season, these riverbeds lie dormant, their sandy beds exposed to the sun, while scattered patches of vegetation cling to life in the shelter of their banks. The land is a canvas of contrasts. Rolling sand dunes rise beside lush grasslands, and islands of green dot the tawny plains, each telling the story of a landscape in perpetual transformation. As the dry season tightens its grip, water becomes the most precious resource. The sun blazes overhead, drawing moisture from the earth and shrinking the waterholes to scattered jewels across the landscape. These oases become the beating heart of Zakouma, drawing life from every corner of the park. Herds of antelope, their coats dusted with the colours of the savanna, gather at the water's edge. Elephants, ancient and wise, move with deliberate grace, their trunks searching for the cool relief of water. Flocks of birds wheel overhead, their calls echoing across the stillness, all drawn together by the promise of survival in a land shaped by scarcity. Then, with the arrival of the rains, the transformation is nothing short of miraculous. The first drops fall, tentative at first, then in torrents that awaken the sleeping earth. The savanna erupts in a riot of green, as grasses surge skyward and wildflowers paint the plains with colour. Rivers swell and seasonal pans brim with water, their surfaces alive with the movement of fish and the calls of frogs. The air is thick with the scent of new growth, and every corner of Zakouma pulses with renewed energy. The landscape, once parched and silent, becomes a symphony of life. This eternal rhythm of drought and renewal is the heartbeat of Zakouma. Every creature here is attuned to the subtle changes in the wind, the scent of rain on the horizon, the shifting patterns of water and grass. Wildlife has evolved to move with the seasons, following ancient paths across the land, their migrations dictated by the ebb and flow of water. Some travel great distances, while others adapt in place, their lives shaped by the cycles of abundance and scarcity that define this remarkable oasis. Zakouma's position as a bridge between ecosystems makes it a vital corridor for migratory species. Herds of antelope sweep across the plains, their movements synchronized with the pulse of the seasons. Elephants traverse the park's length, their journeys linking distant habitats. Flocks of birds, some traveling thousands of miles, find refuge in Zakouma's wetlands, their wings stitching together the fabric of Africa's wild spaces. In this place, the continuity of life is ensured by movement, connection, and the unbroken chain of migration. The park's acacia woodlands blend seamlessly into open grasslands, their thorny branches providing shelter and food for countless species. Seasonal water pans, filled by the rains, become gathering places for a dazzling array of animals and birds. The air is alive with the calls of waterfowl, the thunder of hooves, and the soft rustle of creatures moving through the undergrowth. Each habitat, from the dense thickets to the open plains, plays a role in the intricate web of life that defines Zakouma. Zakouma is more than a park. It is a living testament to the resilience and ingenuity of nature. In this oasis between desert and forest, life endures against the odds, adapting and thriving in the face of constant change. The park stands as a powerful reminder of the enduring strength and beauty of the wild, a place where the forces of desert and forest meet and where the miracle of life unfolds in endless, breathtaking variety. Zakouma National Park is a sanctuary of extraordinary biodiversity, where over 130 mammal species and more than 530 bird species thrive in a mosaic of habitats. Here, the landscape is a living canvas, painted with the colors and movements of countless creatures and plants, each playing a unique role in the park's intricate web of life. The skies and wetlands are alive with vibrant flocks, pelicans, storks, bee-eaters, and the rare black-billed barbet, each adapted to their niche. Pelicans glide in synchronized formation, their broad wings casting fleeting shadows over the shimmering water, while bee-eaters dart and swoop, snatching insects mid-flight with dazzling precision. The black-billed barbet, with its striking plumage, forages among the branches, its call echoing through the gallery forests. On the open savannas, herds of Kordofan giraffes, rowan antelope, and the elusive Lelwel hartebeest graze alongside bohor reedbuck and defasa waterbuck. The giraffes, with their patchwork coats, stretch their necks to pluck tender leaves from the highest branches, while the hartebeest move in tight-knit groups, ever alert to the slightest rustle in the grass. Each species is finely tuned to the seasonal rhythms of rainfall and grass growth, migrating in response to the shifting abundance of food and water. Predators like the secretive leopard, with its dappled camouflage, stalk silently through the tall grass, their movements almost invisible until the final explosive pounce. The Nile crocodile, master of ambush in murky waters, waits motionless for hours, its eyes just above the surface, ready to strike at any creature that ventures too close. These apex predators shape the behavior and movement of prey, maintaining the balance of life and ensuring that no single species dominates the ecosystem. As the dry season intensifies, shrinking wetlands become a lifeline, drawing thousands of waterfowl, spur-winged geese, whistling ducks, and the rare white-faced whistling duck into dense, noisy congregations. The air is filled with the cacophony of calls and the beating of wings as birds jostle for space, their presence a testament to the wetlands' critical role in sustaining life during their harshest months. The elegant black-crowned crane, with its golden crest, wades through the marshes at dawn, its long legs barely disturbing the water's surface. These cranes perform elaborate dances, leaping, bowing, and spreading their wings in a display of grace and strength. These rituals, passed down through generations, signal territory and courtship, reinforcing bonds between lifelong mates. Overhead, the martial eagle soars, its keen eyesight scanning for monitor lizards and small mammals. With a sudden stoop, it plummets from the sky, talons outstretched, striking with unerring accuracy. The rare bateleur glides on thermals, its wings rocking gently as it searches for carrion or small prey, a master of aerial agility and endurance. Patient vultures, including the endangered white-headed vulture, circle high above, their powerful beaks and acidic stomachs crucial for recycling nutrients and preventing disease. When a carcass is discovered, dozens descend in a swirling mass, each species taking its turn. First, the powerful lappet-faced vulture, then the smaller white-backed and hooded vultures, each cleaning the bones with remarkable efficiency. The park's foundation is its astonishing plant diversity, over 500 species, from resilient grasses to rare wildflowers like the striking blue commelina, whose delicate petals open with the morning sun. Towering borassus palms rise above the floodplains, their fan-shaped leaves providing shelter for countless insects and birds. The dense undergrowth is a tapestry of sedges, lilies, and the vibrant yellow blooms of the wild sunflower, each adapted to survive fire, drought, and flood. Iconic acacias, with their umbrella canopies and thorny branches, provide food for giraffes, shade for antelope, and nesting sites for weaver birds, whose intricate nests dangle from the branches like ornaments. After the rains, carpets of wildflowers burst into colour beneath the trees, attracting clouds of butterflies and swarms of pollinating bees, while seed-eating finches flit from bloom to bloom, spreading life across the savannah. The health of lions, who rely on coordinated hunting and the cover of tall grass, buffalo, whose grazing shapes the grasslands and creates new growth, and vultures who cleanse the landscape, is intricately tied to the cycles of vegetation and rainfall. When the rains return, the grasslands erupt in green, supporting vast herds and the predators that follow them, while the drying season brings animals together at shrinking waterholes, intensifying the drama of survival. From the tiny pygmy shrew, burrowing beneath the leaf litter in search of insects, to the mighty savanna elephant whose migrations open up waterholes and disperse seeds across vast distances, every species is a vital thread in Zakouma's living tapestry. Elephants strip bark from trees, creating microhabitats for fungi and insects, while shrews aerate the soil, promoting the growth of new plants. Zakouma is a complete self-sustaining ecosystem where each organism, plant, insect, bird, reptile and mammal, contributes to the park's resilience and diversity. Termites build towering mounds that aerate the soil and provide shelter for reptiles and small mammals, while frogs and toads emerge with the rains, their calls filling the night and their tadpoles feeding countless aquatic predators. Survival here is a delicate dance of adaptation and interdependence, where predator and prey, grazer and browser all rely on the intricate web of life. Herds of antelope move in response to the presence of lions, while birds follow herds to feed on disturbed insects. Even the smallest creatures, dung beetles, butterflies and ants, play their part, recycling nutrients and pollinating plants. Zakouma stands as a vivid illustration of nature's complex relationships, where rare and common species alike are bound together in a dynamic, ever-evolving balance. In this wild sanctuary, every plant and animal, from the most inconspicuous wildflower to the largest elephant, is essential to the park's enduring vitality and beauty. Zakouma's breathtaking beauty once concealed a tragedy of unimaginable scale. For centuries, vast herds of elephants roamed these golden savannas, their presence shaping the land and echoing through the heart of Africa. Generations of matriarchs led their families along ancient migratory routes, passing down knowledge of waterholes, safe havens, and the rhythms of the seasons. The park's ecosystem pulsed with life, each elephant a living memory of the wild's enduring legacy. But beneath the tranquil surface, a silent catastrophe was brewing. In the early 2000s, the elephant population, once numbering in the thousands, began to dwindle at an alarming rate. The savannah, once alive with the thunder of hooves and the low rumbles of family herds, grew eerily quiet. The great gatherings at waterholes became rare, and the dust that once rose from playful calves now settled undisturbed. The impact of this loss was devastating. Elephant families bound by deep social ties were torn apart. Matriarchs, the wise leaders and keepers of memory, fell, leaving behind young elephants adrift and vulnerable. Calves, orphaned and bewildered, wandered the plains in search of mothers who would never return. The survivors, traumatized by the violence that had swept through their world, huddled together in tight, anxious groups, their every movement shadowed by fear. In less than a decade, over 90% of Zakouma's elephants vanished. The once mighty herds were reduced to scattered remnants, their social structures shattered. The savannah echoed with the absence of their calls, a haunting silence that spoke of loss beyond measure. Elephant bones littered the grasslands, silent witnesses to the devastation that had unfolded. The consequences rippled far beyond the elephants themselves. As ecosystem engineers, elephants are architects of the wild. Their movements carve waterholes, open up grasslands, and disperse seeds that sustain countless other species. With their numbers decimated, the balance of life in Zakouma began to unravel. Water sources dried up, choked by encroaching vegetation. Grasslands grew dense and impenetrable, no longer maintained by the gentle pressure of elephant feet. Other animals, antelope, birds, and predators struggled to adapt to the sudden changes, their fates entwined with the vanished giants. The emotional toll on the wildlife was profound. Orphaned calves wandered the empty plains, searching for the comfort of family. Elephant herds, once tightly knit and confident, became fragmented and fearful, their world reduced to a constant state of alert. The savannah, once filled with the trumpeting of elephants and the chorus of life, now echoed with absence, a void that could not be filled. The catastrophe was not just about the disappearance of elephants, it threatened the survival of every creature that depended on the intricate web of life they helped sustain. Zakouma itself teetered on the edge of collapse, its soul nearly lost to the silence that followed the herd's destruction. This dark chapter stands as a stark warning of how quickly natural treasures can vanish. The disappearance of elephants would have changed Zakouma forever, leaving behind only empty landscapes and fading memories, a wilderness stripped of its giants, and a future uncertain for all who remained. Yet even in the darkest moments, hope flickered. The land, scarred but not defeated, awaited a chance for renewal. The stage was set for a remarkable turnaround. In Zakouma, the spirit of partnership and protection is not just a survival tactic, it is the very heartbeat of the wild. Every day the animals of this vast landscape rely on intricate alliances and finely tuned defense strategies, each woven into the tapestry of life. Here, survival is a collective effort, and the bonds between species are as vital as the air they breathe. Elephants, the gentle giants of Zakouma, are masters of unity. When danger looms, the matriarch leads the herd into a tight formation, adults forming an impenetrable wall around their calves. Their low rumbles and gentle touches are more than communication. They are reassurances, a silent promise of protection. Buffaloes, too, embody the strength of solidarity. With horns locked in a defensive phalanx, they stand shoulder to shoulder, their collective presence a daunting challenge to any predator daring enough to approach. Across the open plains, antelope and zebra form mixed herds, their partnership a living example of interspecies cooperation. Each species brings its own strengths, keen eyesight, sharp hearing, or swift legs, creating a network of vigilance. When one senses danger, a ripple of alarm passes through the group, sending dozens of eyes and ears on high alert. Birds like oxpeckers perch atop buffalo and giraffe, their sharp calls warning of lurking threats. In return, they feast on parasites, forging a bond of mutual benefit. Even the smallest creatures play their part in this grand alliance. Baboons, ever watchful from their vantage points, sound shrill alarms at the first sign of danger. Warthogs, quick to heed these warnings, dash for the safety of their burrows. In the rivers, fish move as one, their synchronized swimming confusing would-be predators. Flocks of birds erupt into the sky in perfect harmony, their sudden movement a signal that danger is near. At the waterholes, a delicate truce prevails. Elephants, antelope, giraffes, and birds gather side by side, each aware of the unspoken rules that keep the peace. Young animals play under the watchful gaze of their elders, learning the rhythms of safety and trust. Birds flit between the branches and backs of their larger companions, ever alert, ever ready to sound the alarm. Through unity, vigilance, and the subtle art of cooperation, Zakouma's animals have forged a resilient community. Each alliance, each shared warning, and every act of protection strengthens the bonds that hold this wild kingdom together. In this world, hope and life flourish, not in isolation, but in the powerful embrace of partnership and protection. Zakouma's victory over ivory poaching signaled a new dawn for its wildlife, but the horizon now brims with fresh challenges, forces that test the very fabric of survival for every creature that calls this land home. These threats, both subtle and dramatic, are reshaping the park's destiny in ways never before seen. The climate itself has become an unpredictable adversary. Rainfall, once a reliable rhythm, has diminished by nearly a third since the 1980s. Waterholes that once teemed with life now shrink to muddy remnants, forcing elephants, giraffes, and buffalo to journey ever farther in desperate search of sustenance. The struggle for every drop of water intensifies as the dry season stretches longer each year. Prolonged droughts parch the savanna, transforming lush grasslands into brittle, dust-laden expanses. Herds grow thin and weary, their search for food growing more desperate as vegetation withers. Dust storms sweep across the plains, blinding and relentless, while searing heat waves sap the strength of even the hardiest animals. The delicate balance of life teeters on the edge as each season brings new extremes. Yet not all threats arrive with thunder or drought. Invasive species, both plant and animal, slip quietly into Zakouma's ecosystem. Non-native grasses and shrubs take root, crowding out the native plants that grazers depend on. The landscape shifts, and with it the patterns of life that have endured for generations. Invasive insects burrow into bark and leaves, disrupting the intricate cycles of pollination and decay. Birds, drawn by unfamiliar seeds, alter the balance of competition, sometimes outcompeting native species for food and nesting sites. New diseases, carried by these invaders, ripple through the animal populations, challenging immune systems unprepared for such foes. Nature's fury, too, grows more unpredictable. Lightning, once a harbinger of rain, now often ignites wildfires that race across the parched grasslands. Flames consume everything in their path, leaving behind charred earth and the haunting silence of lost habitat. Herds scatter, their ancient roots disrupted as they seek refuge from the devastation. When the rains do come, they arrive with a vengeance. Rivers swell beyond their banks, flooding grasslands and transforming familiar terrain into treacherous waterscapes. Animals find themselves stranded, cut off from food and shelter as the land is reshaped overnight by the force of water. Each of these pressures, scorching drought, invasive newcomers, fire and flood, places immense strain on Zakouma's inhabitants. Elephants huddle in the scant shade, giraffes stretch for the last green leaves, and buffalo wade through thick mud, all adapting in real time to a world in flux. Survival demands constant adaptation. Elephants learn to find hidden water. Antelope graze on new and unfamiliar plants, and rhinos navigate landscapes transformed by fire and flood. Every day is a test of resilience and ingenuity. Zakouma's story is one of endurance and transformation. As the sun rises over the plains, herds move forward, shaped by the challenges of a changing world. The future of this wild sanctuary depends on the ability of its creatures to meet these new threats head-on. The struggle for survival is unending as each season brings new trials. In the face of uncertainty, Zakouma's wildlife stands resilient, their epic journey continuing beneath the ever-shifting sky. Deep within the wilds of Zakouma, a silent symphony of innovation unfolds every day. Here, nature's technology is not made of wires or metal, but of instinct, adaptation, and the remarkable ingenuity of life itself. Every creature, from the smallest insect to the mightiest elephant, is equipped with a unique set of tools, honed by evolution and perfected by necessity. Communication is an art form in the animal kingdom. Elephants send deep, resonant rumbles through the ground, their messages traveling for miles beneath the earth, allowing distant herds to coordinate movements and warn of danger. Giraffes, with their towering necks, exchange subtle signals, gentle touches, and graceful postures, while lions greet each other with soft nuzzles and thunderous roars, their voices echoing across the plains to mark territory and reunite prides. Navigation is guided by ancient wisdom. Birds soar in perfect V formations, reading the stars and sensing the Earth's magnetic fields as they journey across continents. Wildebeest remember the invisible highways of their ancestors, crossing rivers and plains in search of fresh grass. Butterflies, delicate yet determined, ride the shifting winds, their internal compasses guiding them to distant breeding grounds. No maps, no hesitation, only instinct. Adaptation is nature's greatest invention. Chameleons become living shadows, shifting their colors to vanish among the leaves. Zebras wear dazzling stripes, each pattern unique, confusing the eyes of predators and blending into the shimmering heat. Antelope, sensing danger, freeze in the tall grass, their stillness rendering them invisible to prowling hunters. In the darkness, new technologies emerge. Bats fill the night with silent signals, sending out high-pitched calls and reading the echoes to hunt insects in total blackness. Owls glide on wings designed for silence, their feathers muffling every beat, while the eyes of countless nocturnal creatures glow, specialized to capture the faintest glimmer of moonlight and reveal a hidden world. Even the smallest engineers leave their mark. Termites build towering mounds, their intricate tunnels channeling air to keep the colony cool and dry. Weaver birds twist grass and twigs into elaborate nests, each one a fortress suspended from the trees. Ants form living bridges with their bodies, linking together to cross gaps and carry food back to their underground cities. Teamwork is a force of nature. Elephants march in coordinated lines led by the wisdom of matriarchs, their movements synchronized by subtle signals. Birds rise as one, their wings beating in harmony, while schools of fish twist and turn in perfect unison, each individual responding instantly to the movements of its neighbors, an unspoken language of survival. As dawn breaks over Zakouma, the landscape stirs with life. Every adaptation, every instinct, every natural tool is on display, a living testament to the endless creativity of evolution. The river teems with creatures perfectly suited to their world, and the savanna glows with the energy of survival and renewal. This intricate network of adaptations and behaviors is the true guardian of Zakouma. Here, life flourishes not through force, but through the quiet genius of nature's own technology, an eternal dance of communication, invention, and instinct, ensuring that the wild heart of the park beats on. In the heart of Zakouma, the wild has reclaimed its ancient rhythm. Here, the story of survival is written in every hoofprint and echoed in every trumpet and roar. This is a land where the drama of life unfolds with every sunrise, and where the resilience of its inhabitants is tested and proven day after day. Once on the brink of vanishing, Zakouma's elephants have staged a triumphant return. Over 750 now roam these plains, their calves a living testament to hope reborn. Each new generation learns the ancient ways, how to find water in the dry season, how to navigate the endless grasslands, and how to stand together against adversity. In the cool of dawn, the matriarch leads her family to hidden waterholes, her memory a living map of survival. Calves, protected in the center of the herd, mimic the gentle trunk touches and low rumbles of their elders, absorbing the language of their kind. When danger lurks, the herd closes ranks, forming an unbreakable wall of tusks and trunks, a living shield forged by generations of hardship and triumph. Led by wise matriarchs, the herds move with purpose and calm, their social bonds stronger than ever. They communicate in low rumbles, share knowledge across generations, and nurture their young with gentle care. Their return to relaxed, natural behaviours signals a world restored. Elephants form deep friendships, greeting each other with entwined trunks and rumbling calls that travel for miles. When a calf stumbles, aunts and siblings rush to its side, offering comfort and encouragement. In times of drought, the herd's unity is their greatest strength, pooling their wisdom to find food and water where none seems to exist. Even in grief they gather around the bones of lost kin, pausing in silent tribute before moving on, an unspoken promise that the herd endures. The buffalo, too, have overcome the odds. From a mere 220 survivors, their numbers have surged to over 15,000. These resilient grazers move in vast herds, shaping the landscape as they roam, their presence vital to the health of the grasslands. Buffalo calves are born into a world of constant movement, learning to keep pace with the herd's shifting tides. When predators approach, the adults form a protective ring, horns out encircling the vulnerable. The thundering stampede of a buffalo herd is both a warning and a celebration, a testament to the power of unity and the will to survive. The return of great herds has brought balance. Grazers and browsers feed side by side, while watchful predators like lions prowl the edges, restoring the ancient dance of survival. The land flourishes, its cycles renewed by the presence of these mighty animals. Elephants and buffalo often cross paths, their interaction subtle but significant. An elephant's warning trumpet can send a ripple of alertness through a grazing herd, while buffalo movements reveal the presence of hidden water or danger. Even the smallest antelope benefit from the vigilance of their larger neighbours, slipping through the grass in the wake of giants. Among the most dramatic stories is that of the black rhino. Once lost to this region, these ancient giants have returned. Their thick hides bear the scars of survival, their horns a symbol of endurance. Adapted to browse on thorny shrubs, they move with surprising agility, their senses ever alert to the world around them. Rhinos are solitary wanderers, yet their presence is felt by all. At dusk, a rhino's silhouette moves through the acacia, pausing to listen to the distant calls of lions or the soft footfalls of antelope. Each day they carve new paths through the bush, their movements opening up thickets for smaller creatures to follow. 5 black rhinos now explore their sanctuary, learning the contours of their new home. Each day they grow bolder, forging paths through the bush, rediscovering the wild freedom their ancestors once knew. Sometimes a rhino will pause at a waterhole, sharing the space with wary buffalo or curious giraffes. These brief encounters are moments of silent negotiation, a reminder that survival here depends on respect and adaptation. The rhino's solitary journeys are woven into the greater tapestry of life, their resilience echoing in every step. Zakouma is a refuge for other rare survivors. The Kordofan giraffe, with its pale patches and long graceful neck, browses the acacia trees, perfectly adapted to reach the highest leaves. The West African lion, powerful and elusive, rests in the tall grass, its golden coat blending with the savanna. Giraffes and elephants sometimes feed side by side, each reaching for different heights, their coexistence a quiet partnership that shapes the landscape. Lions, ever watchful, test the herds, their presence ensuring that only the strongest survive and that the balance of life is maintained. Here, over half the world's Kordofan giraffes stride across the plains, while a vital population of lions maintains the delicate balance of predator and prey. Each species, in its own way, is a master of adaptation, surviving drought, evading danger, and thriving in a land that demands resilience. Giraffes form loose groups, their vigilance benefiting all who share the grasslands. Lions, in turn, test the herds, their hunts shaping the future of the savanna. The web of life is intricate, each thread strengthened by the struggles and triumphs of its inhabitants. Across the park, antelope leap through tall grass, birds fill the sky at dawn, and crocodiles bask along winding rivers. Every creature, great and small, plays a part in this epic tale of survival. The movements of elephants open new pathways for antelope, while the presence of rhinos shapes the growth of shrubs and trees. Birds follow herds, feasting on insects stirred by hooves, and crocodiles wait patiently for the rhythms of migration to bring new opportunities. Zakouma's revival is a living testament to the power of nature's resilience. When given the chance, life returns, stronger, wiser, and more magnificent than ever before. In this wild sanctuary, every sunrise brings new stories of survival, adaptation, and the unbreakable bonds that tie all life together. Zakouma is a living theatre where the drama of survival unfolds in countless acts, each more astonishing than the last. Here, the relentless pulse of life drives animals to develop extraordinary behaviours, ingenious strategies, intricate communication, and complex social structures, all finely tuned to the ever-changing rhythms of the wild. Every sunrise brings a new chapter as creatures adapt, innovate, and interact in ways that reveal the true marvel of nature's design. Lions in Zakouma are masters of stealth and cooperation. Unlike their counterparts elsewhere, these lions form smaller, tightly bonded prides, moving silently through the tall grass at dawn. They communicate with subtle tail flicks and low grunts, coordinating their positions with remarkable precision. During a hunt, one lion may break away, circling wide to drive a herd of antelope toward the hidden pride. The ambush is a symphony of patience and timing, each lion knowing its role, each movement calculated. Their lean frames speak of the constant challenge, and their teamwork is a testament to the power of unity in the wild. Spotted hyenas, with their formidable jaws and intricate social hierarchies, are among Zakouma's most resourceful survivors. Living in matriarchal clans, they communicate through a language of whoops, giggles and cackles, each sound carrying meaning across the savannah. When a fresh kill is discovered, hyenas gather swiftly, coordinating their approach with vocal signals and body language. Their social bonds are reinforced through ritualized greetings and grooming, and their ability to outmaneuver lions at a carcass often depends on the strength of their unity. In tense standoffs, hyenas test the resolve of their rivals, sometimes retreating, sometimes surging forward as a single determined force. The African buffalo herds of Zakouma are paragons of collective decision-making. When it's time to move, the herd's direction is chosen not by a single leader but by the majority, each buffalo casting its vote by facing the direction it prefers. This democratic process ensures the safety and cohesion of the group. When danger looms, the herd transforms into a living fortress. Adults form a protective ring, horns outward, while calves are sheltered in the center. Their synchronized movements and unwavering defense are a powerful deterrent to even the most determined predators. Kordofan giraffes have evolved remarkable adaptations for survival in Zakouma's challenging environment. Their prehensile tongues, tough and nimble, deftly strip leaves from thorny acacias, avoiding injury with every bite. During the dry season, these gentle giants embark on long journeys, their towering height granting them access to food beyond the reach of others. Their vigilance is legendary. Giraffes scan the horizon, their keen eyesight alerting nearby animals to the faintest hint of danger. In this way, they serve as silent sentinels, their presence shaping the behavior of the entire ecosystem. The elusive leopards of Zakouma are the embodiment of solitary mastery. These nocturnal hunters move like shadows, their padded paws leaving barely a trace in the sand. After a successful hunt, a leopard will drag its prey high into the branches, safe from the ever-watchful eyes of hyenas. Their ability to vanish into the darkness is legendary. Sometimes only a single paw print or the rustle of leaves betrays their presence. Leopards thrive alone, their independence and stealth making them the park's most enigmatic predators. High above the savannah, the martial eagle reigns supreme. With eyesight 8 times sharper than a human's, it scans the plains for the slightest movement. When prey is spotted, the eagle tucks its massive wings and plunges earthward in a breathtaking dive, striking with unerring accuracy. Its talons, powerful enough to subdue a small antelope, are a testament to the precision and strength required to survive in Zakouma's skies. Across the park, every species has honed its own survival strategy. Flocks of quellias, numbering in the thousands, twist and turn in perfect unison, evading raptors with dizzying aerial maneuvers. Crocodiles lie submerged and motionless for hours, their patience rewarded when unsuspecting prey approaches the water's edge. Even the smallest creatures, like dung beetles, perform vital roles. Rolling and burying dung, they recycle nutrients and aerate the soil, quietly shaping the landscape for all who live here. Interspecies relationships add another layer of complexity. Oxpeckers perch atop buffalo, plucking parasites and sounding alarms at the first sign of danger. Baboons and antelope sometimes forage side by side, each species attuned to the other's warning calls. These alliances, built on mutual benefit and keen awareness, reveal the intricate web of connections that sustains life in Zakouma. Zakouma is a living laboratory of adaptation and survival where every creature, great and small, plays a vital role in the unfolding story of life. Here, the wonders of animal behavior are on full display, each day offering new insights into the boundless ingenuity of the natural world. Zakouma's story is inscribed in the ancient trails of elephants, the chorus of birds greeting the dawn, and the quiet, unyielding strength of the savannah. Here the animal kingdom has reclaimed a rare sanctuary, a place where the rhythm of ancient migrations beats once more and the intricate balance between predator and prey is restored with every passing season. The land itself breathes with the pulse of life, each sunrise illuminating a tapestry woven from countless generations of survival and adaptation. Once on the edge of silence, the park now resounds with the thunder of hooves and the triumphant trumpeting of elephants. Herds of buffalo, giraffes, and antelope traverse the open plains, their movements shaping the very contours of the land. As they graze and roam, they nurture the grasses, disperse seeds, and sustain the delicate web of life that stretches from the smallest insect to the mightiest predator. In this living wilderness, predators and prey engage in a timeless dance, each species playing a vital role in the ongoing saga of survival. The wetlands, once quiet, now teem with vibrant birdlife, flamingos, storks, and countless others, while the rivers and grasslands offer sanctuary to a multitude of creatures. Every migration, every birth, and every hunt is a thread in the ever-evolving story of Zakouma. The return of elephants, buffalo, and even the elusive rhino has breathed new vitality into the ecosystem. Their presence rekindles lost connections, allowing the land to heal and flourish. The great herds move in harmony with the seasons, their journeys restoring ancient pathways and reviving the natural cycles that sustain the park. Zakouma's ecological impact is profound and enduring. With each passing year, the grasses grow taller, rivers swell with the rains, and the air fills with the calls of new life. The park's landscapes transform with the seasons, lush and green in the rains, golden and vast in the dry, each phase supporting a different cast of wildlife, each cycle renewing the promise of abundance. The future of Zakouma's wildlife is reflected in the eyes of the young. Elephant calves learning to navigate the floodplains, antelope fawns taking their first tentative steps, lion cubs discovering the world through play. These new generations inherit a landscape rich with opportunity, where the lessons of survival are passed down and the cycle of life continues unbroken. In a world where wild places are vanishing, Zakouma endures as a living testament to nature's power to recover, adapt, and thrive. Its plains and woodlands, its rivers and skies, all bear witness to the resilience of life and the enduring strength of natural cycles. Zakouma's legacy is etched in the thriving herds, the vibrant landscapes, and the unbroken promise that the animal kingdom will flourish here for generations yet to come. As the sun sets over the savannah, the story of Zakouma continues, an epic of renewal, resilience, and the eternal dance of life. Above the golden savannas, where the first light of dawn spills across the endless grasslands, and along the winding rivers that carve through Zakouma's wild heart, a breathtaking migration unfolds, a skyward symphony of wings and calls as thousands upon thousands of birds journey across continents, drawn by ancient roots etched in memory, seeking sanctuary in this vibrant refuge. Each season, Zakouma transforms into a living mosaic, sheltering over 380 species, vivid bee-eaters flashing emerald and gold as they dart for insects, storks wading with stately grace through shimmering wetlands, and flocks gathering in the trees, their plumage a riot of colour. Among them, the rare black-crowned crane stands tall in the grasslands, its crown of feathers catching the sun, a symbol of rarity and resilience. These birds embark on epic journeys, traversing arid deserts and vast oceans, guided by the pull of the stars and the Earth's magnetic fields, their instincts honed over millennia. In Zakouma they find the promise of life, lush feeding grounds, safe nesting sites, and the resources needed to raise their young. Migratory birds are not mere visitors, they are woven into the very fabric of this ecosystem. As pollinators, they transfer pollen from blossom to blossom. As seed dispersers, they carry the future of trees and grasses in their beaks and bellies. As insect controllers, they keep the balance of life in check. Their presence sustains the forests, where canopies echo with bird song and the flutter of wings. In the grasslands, flocks forage for seeds and insects, while in the wetlands, waterbirds rest and feed, their calls mingling with the sounds of frogs and fish. Red-billed quellias in their millions sweep across the plains in undulating clouds, their synchronized flight shaping the fortunes of predators and prey alike. Predators watch these flocks, timing their hunts to the birds' movements, while the quellia's constant foraging stirs the soil, enriching it for new growth. The land itself is nourished by the ceaseless activity of wings and feet as birds move across fields and savannas. In shimmering wetlands, waterbirds gather, ducks, herons and egrets, drawn by the abundance of fish and aquatic plants. Their presence signals the health of rivers where clear waters sustain both feathered and finned life. Beneath the surface, fish dart and aquatic plants thrive, nourished by the nutrients birds bring from distant lands. Yet their journey is fraught with peril. Storms gather on the horizon, and flocks must navigate fierce winds and driving rain. Droughts parch the earth, altering the patterns of rainfall and the timing of migrations. Some birds arrive early, others late, as shifting climates disrupt the ancient rhythms of their journeys. Food becomes scarce in lean years, and only the most adaptable survive. Wetlands shrink and swell with the seasons, their boundaries redrawn by rain and drought. Nesting colonies must adapt, building higher or moving to safer ground as water levels rise and fall. Some birds are battered by storms. Others arrive exhausted after crossing vast distances, their strength tested by the elements. Invasive plants creep into wetlands, altering habitats and challenging the birds' ability to find food and shelter. Still, the skies above Zakouma remain alive with ceaseless movement, flocks wheeling and turning, always searching, always moving. Songbirds fill the air with music, their calls weaving a tapestry of sound that echoes the enduring rhythms of nature. Each arrival and departure is a chapter in Zakouma's unfolding story, a testament to survival and renewal. Birds connect distant lands, their migrations linking forests, grasslands and wetlands across continents. Each nest, each egg, each fledgling is a fragile thread in the wondrous web of life that stretches from earth to sky. And as the sun sets, birds soar from ground to sky, their silhouettes painting the horizon, a living testament to the wild, enduring spirit of Zakouma. As dusk settles and the last rays of sunlight fade, Zakouma undergoes a quiet transformation. The savannas, forests and wetlands that basked in daylight now belong to the creatures of the night. In this world of moonlight and shadow, a different cast of animals emerges, each perfectly adapted to thrive in darkness. Silent and elusive, the African civet glides through the undergrowth, its masked face and banded tail camouflaged against the night. With keen senses, it hunts for small mammals and insects, using its acute sense of smell to locate prey hidden in the dense foliage. Nearby, bush babies leap from branch to branch, their oversized eyes glowing as they hunt for insects and sweet fruit. Their powerful hind legs and long tails provide balance and agility, allowing them to navigate the treetops with ease. The air fills with the soft rustle of genets and the distant calls of nightjars, masters of aerial acrobatics as they catch moths on the wing. Genets, with their slender bodies and retractable claws, move stealthily through the grass, hunting rodents and birds. Deep in the grass, spring hares bound like miniature kangaroos, evading stealthy predators such as the serval cat, whose large ears swivel to detect the faintest movement. The serval's long legs and spotted coat make it a formidable hunter in the tall grass. Bats spiral through the cool air, their echolocation guiding them to swarms of insects invisible to the human eye. These nocturnal flyers use high-frequency sounds to navigate and hunt, their agile wings allowing for rapid, precise movements. Crocodiles slip silently into the water, while hippos venture from their daytime pools to graze under the cover of darkness. The hippo's sensitive skin requires them to stay submerged during the day, but at night they roam the land in search of fresh grass. Even the tiny dung beetle becomes a nighttime architect, rolling its precious cargo by the light of the stars. These industrious insects play a crucial role in nutrient recycling, breaking down animal waste and enriching the soil. Each nocturnal creature is a marvel of adaptation, keen senses, specialized camouflage, and unique behaviors honed by generations. From the silent flight of owls to the bioluminescent trails of fireflies, the night is alive with activity. In the absence of sunlight, life in Zakouma flourishes in unexpected ways, revealing a hidden realm of beauty and resilience. The interplay of predator and prey, the delicate balance of the ecosystem, all unfold under the cover of darkness. As dawn approaches, the nocturnal chorus fades, and these secretive residents retreat to their shelters. The transition from night to day marks the end of one cycle and the beginning of another. Their nightly rituals, unseen by most, are essential threads in Zakouma's living tapestry, keeping the ecosystem in balance while the rest of the world sleeps. The dawn brings a new chapter, but the wonders of the night leave an indelible mark on the landscape. Beneath Zakouma's endless sky, a labyrinth of rivers, lakes, and ephemeral channels carves its way through the golden savanna, etching lifelines into the very heart of the landscape. These waterways are ancient, shaped by the seasonal rhythms of rain and drought, their courses shifting and meandering with the pulse of the land itself. These aquatic arteries are the park's beating heart, sustaining a tapestry of life that is as intricate as it is spectacular. In the wet season, the rivers swell and spill across the plains, transforming the savanna into a mosaic of shimmering pools and lush floodplains. As the dry season returns, the waters recede, leaving behind isolated waterholes that become sanctuaries for the park's inhabitants. In the crystal-clear shallows, schools of tilapia and catfish glide between the stems of water lilies, their scales catching the sunlight in flashes of silver and gold. These fish are more than just inhabitants. They are keystones, cycling nutrients through the water, feeding on aquatic plants and insects, and in turn becoming prey for larger predators. Along the muddy banks, Nile crocodiles lie motionless, their armored bodies blending with the earth, patient and ancient, they are the silent rulers of these waters, waiting for the perfect moment to slip beneath the surface and patrol their aquatic domain. Hippos, immense yet surprisingly agile, spend their days submerged in the cool embrace of the river. Only their eyes, ears and nostrils break the surface, ever watchful. By night they emerge to graze, but by day the water is their refuge, a vital shield against the relentless sun. The rivers and lakes are alive with birds. African jacanas, with their impossibly long toes, seem to walk on water as they search for insects among floating vegetation. Storks and herons, statuesque and patient, stalk the margins, their sharp eyes scanning for fish and amphibians. Hidden in the dense reeds, the elusive Sitatunga antelope moves with ghost-like grace. Its splayed hooves allow it to tread softly on the marshy ground, perfectly adapted to a life spent at the water's edge, where danger and opportunity are never far apart. As the dry season tightens its grip, the waterholes shrink, drawing animals from miles around. The competition for water intensifies, and the aquatic realms become the stage for daily dramas of survival and coexistence. Herds of buffalo and antelope gather at the banks, their hooves churning the mud as they drink. Shy bushbucks slip through the shadows, while leopards, ever watchful, prowl the fringes, each species drawn by the promise of water, each playing its part in the intricate web of life. Above, the haunting cry of the African fish-eagle echoes across the water, a sentinel of the skies. Below, turtles bask on sun-warmed logs, and frogs chorus from the muddy shallows, their lives entwined with the rhythms of the river. Even the smallest creatures are vital. Dragonflies hover and dart, their larvae hunting underwater. Aquatic insects and tiny crustaceans thrive in the nutrient-rich shallows, forming the foundation of a food web that supports everything from fish to birds to mammals. Every ripple, every current sustains a hidden world, the water cycles rising, falling, evaporating and returning with the rains bind all life together in a delicate balance. Each species, from the smallest insect to the largest mammal, depends on the water's ebb and flow for survival. Zakouma's aquatic ecosystems are sanctuaries of renewal and resilience. Here life flourishes in astonishing diversity, each organism interdependent, each moment a testament to the power of water to shape and sustain the wild. As the sun rises over the rivers and lakes, the pulse of the wild beats strong. Water is not merely a resource, it is the essence of life itself, nurturing every creature, every plant, every hidden world within Zakouma's aquatic realms. Zakouma National Park is a realm where even the smallest inhabitants play pivotal roles in the grand tapestry of life. Here, beneath the towering grasses and among the roots of ancient trees, a hidden world thrives, a world where insects reign as the true architects and caretakers of the ecosystem. The insect world here is a universe unto itself, teeming with astonishing diversity, resilience, and ingenious survival strategies. From the tiniest springtail to the most formidable beetle, each species has carved out a unique niche, adapting to the ever-changing rhythms of the savanna. As the sun rises, the air buzzes with activity. Countless wings shimmer in the golden light as insects emerge from their nighttime shelters to begin the day's work. Tiny, iridescent beetles scuttle across the forest floor, their metallic shells glinting in the morning light. These armored wanderers are not only beautiful, they are vital decomposers, breaking down fallen leaves and dead wood, transforming decay into fertile soil. These industrious creatures are nature's recyclers, tirelessly breaking down organic matter and enriching the soil. Their relentless work ensures that nutrients are returned to the earth, fueling the growth of plants and supporting the entire food web. Above them, butterflies of every conceivable hue flutter through the air, their delicate wings painting the landscape with splashes of color. Each butterfly is a living mosaic, its patterns a product of evolution's artistry, designed to attract mates or warn off would-be predators. These pollinators are vital to the health of Zakouma's flora, ensuring the continuation of countless plant species. As they sip nectar, they transfer pollen from flower to flower, weaving invisible threads that bind the plant kingdom together. In the tall grasses, praying mantises lie in wait, their leaf-like bodies perfectly camouflaged. Masters of disguise, they blend seamlessly with their surroundings, remaining motionless for hours as they anticipate the perfect moment to strike. With lightning speed, they strike at unsuspecting prey, showcasing nature's blend of beauty and brutality. Their raptorial forelegs, lined with spines, are perfectly adapted for grasping and holding their quarry. Nearby, ants march in disciplined columns, their complex societies a testament to cooperation and collective effort. Each ant plays a specific role, worker, soldier or queen, contributing to the survival of the colony. These tiny architects build intricate nests and tunnels, aerating the soil and fostering plant growth. Their underground cities are marvels of engineering, with chambers for food storage, nurseries for larvae, and passageways that regulate temperature and humidity. As dusk falls, the insect symphony changes its tune. The day's chorus of buzzing and chirping gives way to the night's mysterious melodies. Fireflies begin their nightly dance, their bioluminescent glow a mesmerizing spectacle. Each flash is a coded message, a silent conversation carried on the night air. These tiny lanterns communicate through light, attracting mates and warding off predators. Their glowing abdomens are a marvel of natural chemistry, producing light with almost no heat. Meanwhile, cicadas emerge from their subterranean hideaways, their chorus a defining sound of the African night. After years spent underground, they surface in synchrony, filling the air with their resonant calls. In the shadows, spiders weave their intricate webs, each strand a masterpiece of engineering. Their silk is stronger than steel by weight, spun into patterns that ensnare the unwary. These silent hunters keep the insect population in balance, their presence a crucial element in the park's ecosystem. Every web tells a story of patience, precision and predation. Even the smallest creatures, like termites, play an outsized role. These social insects are tireless builders and recyclers, shaping the very landscape of Zakouma. These master builders construct towering mounds that serve as microhabitats for other species, while their digestion of dead plant material recycles nutrients back into the environment. Their colonies are bustling metropolises, with millions of individuals working in harmony. In Zakouma, insects are more than mere background players. They are the unsung heroes of the ecosystem, driving processes that sustain life across the park. From pollination and decomposition to predation and soil aeration, their roles are as varied as their forms. Their diversity and adaptability are a testament to nature's ingenuity, reminding us that even the tiniest creatures can have a monumental impact. In every flutter, crawl and chirp, the insects of Zakouma reveal the intricate, interconnected web of life that sustains this wild and wondrous place. In the heart of Zakouma, a timeless ritual unfolds each day, a delicate dance between predator and prey. This is a world where survival depends on instinct, strategy, and the ever-shifting balance of nature. The dynamic interplay between hunter and hunted is the engine of the park's ecological balance, shaping every aspect of life within its boundaries. Each species, from the smallest rodent to the apex predator, is woven into a complex web of relationships, each action rippling through the ecosystem. As dawn breaks, a herd of antelope grazes cautiously on the open savanna. Their movements are measured, every step calculated, for they know that danger can emerge from any shadow. Their ears twitch at the faintest sound, eyes scanning for movement in the tall grasses. The antelope rely on acute senses and the safety of numbers, forming tight groups to increase their chances of detecting lurking predators. Nearby, a pride of lions lies in wait, their tawny coats blending seamlessly with the landscape. Masters of stealth, they use the cover of grass and the low morning light to remain unseen, communicating silently with flicks of their tails and subtle glances. The lions' patience is legendary. They know that a single misstep by their quarry could mean a successful hunt. They coordinate their approach, with some members circling wide to cut off escape routes, while others remain hidden, ready to spring the trap. When the moment arrives, the chase explodes in a burst of energy. Prey zigzags and leaps, predator pounces and pursues. The lions rely on teamwork and short bursts of speed, aiming to isolate a weak or distracted antelope from the herd. For every hunt there is a story of survival, a testament to the finely tuned instincts of both hunter and hunted. The antelope's defense is agility and awareness, darting unpredictably to evade capture, while the lion's success depends on timing, strength, and cooperation. Crocodiles lurk beneath the surface of watering holes, their eyes just above the waterline. These ancient predators are masters of ambush, waiting motionless for hours, blending perfectly with the muddy banks. As herds of buffalo and antelope approach to drink, the tension is palpable. The animals gather in tight groups, the bravest venturing forward first, while others keep watch for the slightest ripple in the water. A sudden lunge, a splash, and the cycle continues. Each predator's success ensures that only the strongest and most vigilant prey endure. The crocodile's attack is swift and brutal, but many escape, learning to be ever more cautious. Above, raptors circle on rising thermals, their keen eyesight searching for signs of weakness among the smaller mammals below. These aerial hunters scan vast distances, able to spot the slightest movement from high above. A sudden stoop, a flash of talons, and the balance is maintained. Raptors rely on speed, precision, and surprise, targeting the unwary or the injured, ensuring that only the fittest survive. Even the smallest predators, like servals and jackals, play their part. Servals use their long legs and acute hearing to locate rodents hidden in the grass, leaping high to pounce with deadly accuracy. Jackals, ever opportunistic, scavenge and hunt, keeping populations of small mammals and birds in check. Meanwhile, the prey are not mere victims. Their survival depends on constant vigilance, communication, and the ability to adapt to new threats. Agile impalas leap with astonishing grace, outmaneuvering would-be attackers with sudden bursts of speed and unpredictable changes in direction. Their powerful legs and keen senses are their greatest defenses. Warthogs dash for their burrows, tails erect like warning flags. Their speed and knowledge of the landscape allow them to vanish underground in seconds, evading even the most determined pursuers. The vigilance and adaptability of prey species drive predators to hone their skills, fueling an endless cycle of adaptation and counter-adaptation. Each encounter is a test of wits and reflexes, with both sides evolving new tactics over generations. This intricate web of life ensures that Zakouma remains vibrant and resilient. Every predator, every prey animal, and every plant is part of a living network, each dependent on the others for survival. Predators keep herbivore populations in check, preventing overgrazing and allowing vegetation to flourish. In turn, healthy plant life supports vast herds, which feed the predators and scavengers alike. In turn, healthy prey populations support a diverse array of carnivores, from the mighty lion to the nimble serval, each finding its niche in the food web. Each encounter, each chase, and each narrow escape is a thread in the fabric of the ecosystem, a living testament to the power of balance in the wild. The food web is ever-changing, with each species adapting to the successes and failures of others. Here, in Zakouma's wild heart, the drama of predator and prey is played out every day, a perpetual dance that sustains the land, its creatures, and the future of the park itself. In this realm, the story of life is written in every pursuit, every escape, and every quiet moment of watchfulness beneath the African sky. As the first rays of sunlight spill across Zakouma, the park stirs to life, each day a reflection of the grander cycles that govern this wild expanse. Here, the rhythm of the seasons is a force as old as the land itself, shaping every living thing and every inch of earth. When the dry season arrives, it sweeps across Zakouma with a relentless intensity. The air grows heavy and still, and the once verdant plains fade to gold and ochre. Rivers that once danced through the landscape shrink to dusty ribbons, their beds cracked and exposed. Watering holes, lifelines for so many, dwindle to muddy remnants. The earth itself splits beneath the unyielding sun, and the grasslands shimmer with heat, their golden blades brittle and dry. In this time of scarcity, herds of buffalo and antelope converge at the last remaining pools, their numbers swelling as the land grows harsher. Rivals and even predators are drawn together, bound by the desperate need for water. Tense truces form as survival takes precedence over old enmities. Every creature, from the smallest antelope to the most formidable predator, is united by the promise of water, their fates intertwined at these shrinking oases. For many, survival depends on ancient instincts and remarkable adaptations. Elephants, guided by memories passed down through generations, lead their families across the parched savanna. They follow invisible trails to hidden springs, their journeys a testament to endurance and wisdom honed by countless seasons. Giraffes, with their towering necks, reach for the highest leaves where precious moisture lingers long after the ground below has dried. Beneath the cracked surface, crocodiles slip into a state of torpor, their bodies conserving every ounce of energy. They lie motionless in the mud, waiting for the return of the rains that will once again fill the rivers and flood the plains. The first distant rumble of thunder signals a dramatic transformation. Rain falls in sudden, drenching torrents, pounding the earth and washing away months of dust. The parched ground drinks deeply, and the landscape is reborn. Pools and streams reappear, and the grasslands erupt in a patchwork of green. Seeds, long dormant beneath the surface, burst into life. Wildflowers paint the savanna in brilliant colours, and trees unfurl fresh leaves, their branches heavy with new growth. The entire park is transformed, a vibrant green tapestry stretching to the horizon. With this renewal, the animal world responds in a flurry of movement and sound. Flocks of migratory birds, some travelling thousands of kilometres, descend upon the wetlands, their wings flashing in the sunlight. Their calls fill the air, joined by the chorus of frogs emerging from their hiding places, their voices a celebration of abundance. Frogs gather at the water's edge, their numbers swelling as they seize the brief window to breed. Antelope, sensing the bounty, give birth to their young, timing new life to the flush of fresh grass. The grasslands become nurseries dotted with the delicate forms of newborn antelope, each one a testament to the cycle of renewal. Insects and amphibians, too, emerge in staggering numbers, feeding, breeding, and thriving in the fleeting abundance. They lay eggs in the temporary pools, ensuring the next generation will be ready when the cycle turns once more. The predators of Zakouma, ever watchful, adapt their strategies to the shifting tides. Lions and leopards follow the great herds as they move across the revitalized plains, their movements dictated by the migrations of prey. The serval, nimble and alert, thrives on the explosion of rodents that accompanies the rains, hunting in the tall, dew-laden grass. Others bide their time, conserving energy, waiting for the inevitable return of scarcity when the dry season comes again. As the grass withers and water recedes, the balance shifts once more, and the cycle of opportunity and challenge begins anew. This endless dance of drought and deluge, hardship and abundance shapes every life in Zakouma, forging resilience in the face of constant change. It is a story written in the dust of the dry season and the torrents of the rains, in the deep roots that anchor trees through drought, and in the epic migrations that sweep across the plains. Each season tests the inhabitants of Zakouma, strengthening and renewing the ecosystem with every turn of the wheel. Through drought and deluge, scarcity and plenty, Zakouma endures as a sanctuary for life, its wild inhabitants forever adapting to the ever-changing tides of the seasons, their future written in the cycles of the land. In the vast, untamed expanse of Zakouma, some stories are whispered rather than shouted, tales of rare and endangered creatures whose existence teeters on the edge, their lives unfolding in secret corners of the park, far from the gaze of the world. These hidden gems, elusive and few, are woven into the delicate tapestry of the park, each species with its own ancient lineage and remarkable adaptations faces unique trials in the relentless struggle for survival. In the dappled shadows of the acacia thickets, the Kordofan giraffe browses quietly. This gentle giant, with its pale, irregular patches and long, elegant neck, is a master of camouflage, moving with silent grace among the trees. With only a handful left in the wild, each individual is precious, a living relic of a time when giraffes roamed the continent in great herds. Their survival is a daily battle against predators, drought, and the ever-present threat of isolation. Their patchwork coats blend with the sunlit leaves, rendering them nearly invisible to all but the keenest eyes. This natural armor shields them from danger, allowing them to slip through the woodland like shadows. Every calf that rises, awkward and blinking, is a testament to resilience in a world of uncertainty. From their first unsteady steps, these young giraffes must learn to navigate a landscape filled with peril, relying on instinct and the protection of their towering mothers. Elsewhere, the black-crowned crane steps gracefully through the marshes, its slender legs barely disturbing the water's surface. This bird is a vision of elegance, with a golden crown of feathers and a striking black and white plumage that glows in the morning light. Its regal plumage and trumpeting call are a rare sight and sound, echoing across the wetlands. The crane's haunting cry carries for miles, a signal to others of its kind and a declaration of territory in a shrinking world. These birds form lifelong bonds, performing intricate dances that speak of hope and continuity. Their synchronized movements, bows, and leaps are not just displays of affection, but rituals that ensure the next generation will rise to greet the dawn, even as their habitats shrink. Beneath the canopy, the mysterious pangolin shuffles through the leaf litter, its body encased in a mosaic of tough, overlapping scales. This ancient armor is its only defense, curling into a tight ball at the first sign of danger, becoming nearly impenetrable to would-be predators. Shy and nocturnal, this creature is seldom seen, its presence revealed only by the faint rustle of leaves or the delicate imprint of claws in the soft earth. The pangolin's secretive life is a quiet reminder of the diversity and fragility of existence in Zakouma, where every night brings new challenges and silent victories. The West African lion, a shadow among grasses, patrols its shrinking domain. With a mane tinged by the dust of the savannah and eyes that pierce the twilight, this apex predator is both guardian and symbol of the wild. Fewer in number than ever before, each pride must navigate the challenges of scarce prey and fierce competition. Their social bonds are strong, forged in the crucible of survival, and every hunt is a test of cooperation and cunning. Their roars still roll across the plains at dusk, a proclamation of survival against the odds, a sound that once dominated the night and now lingers as a fading echo of a wilder past. And deep within the waterways, the slender snouted crocodile glides silently, a relic of ancient times. Its elongated jaws, lined with needle-sharp teeth, are perfectly adapted for snatching fish from the murky depths. Its numbers have dwindled, but each hatchling that slips into the water is a spark of hope for the species' future. Vulnerable to predators and the whims of the river, only the strongest will survive to continue this ancient lineage. These rare and endangered beings are more than just inhabitants of Zakouma. They are living stories shaped by adversity and perseverance. Each one is a vital thread in the park's living tapestry, their fates intertwined with the health of the land itself. Their continued presence is a testament to the park's enduring wildness and a reminder that every life, no matter how hidden, plays a role in the intricate balance of nature. In Zakouma, the rare and the remarkable endure, their stories written in the grass, the water, and the shadows, an epic of survival, resilience, and hope. As the first rays of dawn spill across Zakouma, the savannah awakens in a shimmering tapestry of sound. The golden light is only the beginning. What truly marks the start of a new day is the wild chorus that rises from every corner of this ancient land. The air itself seems to vibrate, alive with the layered voices of countless creatures, each contributing to a symphony that has echoed here for millennia. In this heart of wilderness, every animal has a story to tell, and every call is a thread in the intricate web of life. The soundscape is a living language spoken in roars, trumpets, songs, and whispers, each note a message, a warning, a greeting, or a declaration of belonging. Far across the open grasslands, a lion's roar rolls like thunder, deep and resonant. It is a proclamation of power, a boundary set in sound, carrying for miles on the cool morning air. The roar is both a challenge and a reassurance, letting rivals know of his presence and his pride, while comforting his kin with the promise of protection. In the misty dawn, the low rumbling trumpets of elephants answer. Their calls are complex, sometimes a gentle rumble, felt more than heard, sometimes a piercing trumpet that cuts through the fog. These sounds are the language of family, mothers calling to calves, matriarchs guiding the herd, distant relatives keeping in touch across the vastness of the park. Each note carries meaning, from reassurance to warning, from joy to sorrow. High in the acacia trees, the weaver birds begin their morning chorus. Their songs are bright and intricate, a cascade of chirps and trills that ripple through the branches. Each male weaver sings to attract a mate, his melody a unique signature, while the flock's collective music weaves invisible threads of connection through the canopy. The air is alive with their energy, a tapestry of sound as complex as the nests they build. Down by the water's edge, the chorus shifts. Frogs gather in the reeds, their voices rising in rhythmic overlapping croaks. Each species adds its own note to the symphony, some deep and resonant, others sharp and insistent. The water itself joins in as a hippo submerges with a mighty splash, sending ripples and bubbles across the surface. The frog's calls are both a summons and a challenge, marking territory and seeking companionship in the cool morning air. Suddenly a sharp bark cuts through the harmony, the alarm call of a baboon. Instantly the mood shifts. Antelope freeze, ears flicking, muscles tense for flight. Guinea fowl explode into the air, their wings beating a frantic rhythm. The baboon's call is a warning, a signal that danger may be near, and the entire savannah listens and responds, the chorus swelling with urgency and tension. As the sun climbs higher, and the heat shimmers over the grasslands, the tempo of the wild chorus changes. Many animals seek shade, their voices softening, but the soundscape never falls silent. Even in the stillness of midday, the park hums with life. The gentle hum of insects rises from the grasses, a constant undercurrent that fills the air. The wind whispers through the dry stalks, carrying with it the faint rustle of unseen creatures moving through the brush. Every footfall, every flutter, every breath adds to the living soundtrack, a composition that shifts with the hour, the season, and the weather. As the sun dips toward the horizon and dusk settles over Zakouma, the wild chorus transforms once more. The day's voices fade, and a new orchestra prepares to take the stage. Nightjars flutter above the savannah, their calls a soft, haunting refrain that drifts on the cooling air. From the shadows the eerie cackles of hyenas rise, their laughter echoing across the darkness, a sound both chilling and vital, marking the relentless cycle of life and death that plays out each night. In the hush of night, the soft rustle of a pangolin foraging through the undergrowth is joined by the steady chorus of crickets. Small nocturnal animals move through the shadows, their movements barely audible, yet each step and chirp adds a brushstroke to the portrait of a world that never truly sleeps. The wild chorus of Zakouma is ancient, yet ever-changing, a living memory of the land, shaped by the voices of its inhabitants. Each call, each song, each warning and greeting is a testament to the enduring spirit of this wilderness. This is a language without words, a symphony written in the voices of the wild. It is the heartbeat of Zakouma, a place where the music of life never ceases and the boundless vitality of its creatures fills every dawn, every dusk, and every silent moment in between. As the first rays of sunlight pierce the canopy, a new chapter begins in Zakouma. Zakouma's wild inhabitants awaken to a new day, each one a testament to resilience and the promise of renewal. The savannah stirs with life, a symphony of sounds and movements. Across the grasslands, young antelope take their tentative first steps, embodying the spirit of new beginnings. Watched over by vigilant mothers, they learn the ways of survival in a world that is both beautiful and unforgiving. Nearby, a herd of elephants moves with quiet confidence, their every step a lesson in endurance. The elders guide their youngest through ancient migratory paths, a journey etched in their collective memory. In the shadowy undergrowth, a lioness teaches her cubs the art of patience, a skill essential for their future as apex predators. Meanwhile, a flock of birds adapts their nesting sites to shifting climates and changing rains, showcasing nature's incredible ability to adjust and thrive. Even the smallest creatures, beetles sculpting the earth, play a crucial role in this ecosystem. Frogs thrive in temporary pools, their croaks a chorus of life in the wet season. Year after year, the animals of Zakouma face droughts, floods, and the unpredictable rhythms of nature. Yet, with every challenge, they adapt, shifting their habits, forging new alliances, and finding ingenious ways to thrive. It is here, in these daily acts of courage and adaptation, that hope for the future takes root. From the tiniest insect to the mightiest elephant, Zakouma's wildlife embodies the enduring spirit of the wild. Their resilience is a living promise, an unspoken vow that as long as the sun rises over these plains, life will find a way. The future of Zakouma is not just a story of survival, it is a celebration of nature's unbreakable will and the eternal dance of renewal that carries on season after season into the promise of tomorrow. Beneath the open skies and sprawling grasslands of Zakouma lies a network of secret worlds, hidden microhabitats that pulse with life, unseen by most. Termite mounds rise like ancient fortresses, their intricate tunnels bustling with tireless workers. Within these labyrinths, termites break down tough plant material, recycling nutrients and enriching the soil, an invisible engine that sustains the savannah's vitality. In the embrace of hollow trees, a different drama unfolds. Bats cling to the cool, dark interiors, resting by day before emerging to hunt at dusk. Tiny geckos scurry along the walls, feasting on insects lured by the sap and shelter. Some hollows become nurseries for owlets, sheltered from storms and predators, while bees transform others into golden chambers, filling the air with the faint hum of industry. Beneath the ground, burrows weave through the earth like hidden highways. Here, aardvarks slumber after nighttime foraging, their tunnels later adopted by porcupines, warthogs, and even snakes. These underground sanctuaries offer refuge from the midday heat and safe passage for creatures both great and small. Within these microhabitats, each species plays a vital role, pollinating flowers, dispersing seeds, controlling pests, or simply providing shelter for the next inhabitant. Though hidden from view, these secret realms are the foundation upon which the greater wilderness rests. Zakouma's true richness lies not only in its sweeping vistas or its grand migrations, but in these quiet corners, where life persists, adapts, and thrives in the most unexpected ways. In every mound, hollow and burrow, the wild heart of Zakouma beats on, weaving together the delicate fabric of this extraordinary ecosystem. In the dappled shadows and sunlit clearings of Zakouma, a quieter drama unfolds, one written in scales and skin, in silent watches and sudden leaps. Here, reptiles and amphibians claim their place as ancient custodians of the land, their lives entwined with the rhythms of rain and drought. Beneath the baking sun, a Nile monitor glides along the riverbank, its forked tongue flickering to taste the air. Agile and alert, it hunts for fish, eggs, and insects, playing a vital role in keeping populations balanced. Nearby, a rainbow-hued agama lizard basks atop a rock, its skin shifting from dull to brilliant as it signals to rivals and mates. Each movement is a language of territory, of survival, of courtship. In the tangled undergrowth, a puff adder lies in patient ambush, its perfectly camouflaged scales blending with fallen leaves. When prey draws near, a swift strike reveals the snake's mastery of stealth and precision, a reminder of nature's quiet efficiency. Not far away, a slender green tree snake winds through branches, its body a ribbon of emerald in the dappled light, ever watchful for insects and small birds. When dusk falls and the air grows heavy with promise, the amphibians begin their nightly chorus. Frogs of every size and colour emerge from hidden pools and flooded grasslands, their calls weaving a tapestry of sound across the darkening savannah. Some, like the ornate burrowing frog, wait patiently underground for the rains, then erupt in joyful abundance when water returns, transforming puddles into nurseries teeming with life. Each of these creatures is a master of adaptation. Scaly skin guards against desiccation. Keen senses detect the faintest tremor or scent. Some lizards can shed their tails to escape a predator's grasp, while others blend seamlessly into bark or sand. Frogs absorb moisture through their skin, their lives tethered to the ebb and flow of water. Together, reptiles and amphibians maintain the pulse of Zakouma's ecosystem. They prey on insects, control pests, and themselves provide nourishment for birds, mammals, and even other reptiles. Their eggs and tadpoles feed fish and waterfowl, their presence a silent testament to the health of the land. In every sun-warmed rock, every shaded pool, and every whisper of grass, the legacy of these ancient survivors endures. Through their hidden lives and remarkable adaptations, Zakouma's reptiles and amphibians reveal the enduring resilience and interconnectedness of the wild. Beneath the surface of Zakouma's beauty lies a tapestry of connections, a vast, intricate web where every life is linked in the dance of survival. Here, food chains intertwine to form complex food webs, each thread a testament to the balance that sustains this wild heart of Africa. At the foundation, grasses and leafy plants capture sunlight, weaving it into energy through photosynthesis. This green abundance feeds the grazers, herds of antelope, buffalo, and the nimble cob, who in turn become nourishment for the land's apex hunters. Lions move with silent purpose through the tall grass, their eyes fixed on the weakest or unwary. Cheetahs and leopards stalk in the shadows, each specializing in their own prey, ensuring no single species dominates the plains. Elsewhere, the smaller dramas unfold. Insects, beetles, grasshoppers, butterflies feed on foliage and flowers, while nimble lizards and birds pluck them from the air or earth. Frogs and small mammals become the quarry of snakes and raptors, their fates bound to the keen senses of their pursuers. Scavengers play their part as well. Hyenas, vultures, and marabou storks sweep the landscape, consuming what others leave behind. Their hunger ensures that nothing is wasted, recycling nutrients into the soil and closing the circle of life. Energy flows upward from the smallest blade of grass to the mightiest predator, with every link vital to the whole. When one species thrives or falters, the ripple can be felt throughout the web, affecting what grows, what hunts, and what survives. Even the unseen, fungi and microorganisms, decompose fallen leaves and bones, returning sustenance to the earth and nourishing the next generation. In Zakouma, the web is always shifting, adapting to the seasons, the rains, and the ever-changing fortunes of life. It is a system of checks and balances, each relationship finely tuned by millennia of evolution. Here, the wild endures not through the strength of individuals, but through the unity of connections, each life a note in the symphony of survival. In the heart of Zakouma, two powerful forces sculpt the land and guide the destiny of its wild inhabitants, fire and flood. These natural architects, ancient and relentless, shape the rhythms of life across the savanna, forest, and wetland mosaics. When the dry season takes hold, grasses wither under the sun's unyielding gaze. In time, lightning ignites the brittle vegetation, sending flames racing across the plains. Fire, though fierce and consuming, is not an agent of destruction, but a catalyst for renewal. It clears away tangled undergrowth, releases seeds from their shells, and returns vital nutrients to the earth. In the weeks that follow, a flush of green erupts from the ash, inviting grazers to feast on tender new shoots. Wildlife has learned to read the language of fire. Antelope and buffalo sense the shift in wind and the scent of smoke, moving ahead of the advancing blaze. Birds take to the sky, while burrowing creatures retreat underground, shielded from the heat. For some, fire is an opportunity. Raptors circle above, catching prey flushed from hiding, while insects and small mammals emerge to explore the transformed landscape. As the seasons turn, the rains arrive, first as distant murmurs, then as life-giving torrents. Rivers swell and spill across the floodplains, transforming grasslands into shimmering wetlands. Floodwaters bring abundance, creating nurseries for fish, amphibians, and aquatic plants. Crocodiles and hippos revel in the rising waters, while wading birds gather in vast numbers to feed and breed. Adaptation is key. Some animals time their migrations with the floods, following the receding waters to new grazing grounds. Others, like the agile lechwe and nimble reedbuck, are perfectly suited to life on the water's edge, their hooves adapted for slippery, shifting terrain. Even the smallest creatures, frogs, insects, and fish, synchronize their life cycles to the pulse of the floods, ensuring the next generation thrives. Through fire and flood, Zakouma is perpetually renewed. These elemental forces, unpredictable and untamed, maintain the balance of habitats, foster diversity, and test the resilience of every living thing. In their wake, life flourishes, adapted, enduring, and forever intertwined with the land's wild heartbeat. As darkness falls over Zakouma, a new world awakens beneath the vast unbroken sky. The last embers of sunset yield to a velvet expanse, studded with 1,000 shimmering stars. Here, far from city lights, the night sky becomes a living tapestry, each constellation etched in sharp relief, planets gliding silently on their eternal paths. Sometimes the heavens treat Zakouma to celestial displays, the fleeting arc of a meteor, the luminous glow of the Milky Way, or the rare silvery dance of the aurora above the horizon. Bathed in moonlight, the savannah is transformed. The full moon casts ghostly shadows, painting the landscape in subtle hues of silver and blue. For many of Zakouma's creatures, this is the hour of activity. Lions and hyenas emerge from the darkness, their senses sharpened beneath the moon's glow as they patrol their territories and hunt for prey. Nightjars swoop low, their wings silent as they snatch insects from the air. Elephants move quietly through the grass, their forms almost spectral in the lunar light, while hippos graze along riverbanks, safe under the cover of night. The moon's phase shapes the rhythm of life. On moonless nights, the darkness is profound. Stealthy predators rely on the cover of shadow, while smaller creatures, like bush babies and genets, move more freely, their large eyes adapted to the faintest glimmer of starlight. Frogs call from hidden pools, their chorus rising in the cool air, joined by the distant hoot of an owl or the rhythmic chirr of crickets. Above it all, the celestial dome bears silent witness to every drama and every moment of peace. The night sky over Zakouma is more than a backdrop. It is a guiding force, a source of wonder, and a silent partner in the nocturnal ballet of life. As dawn approaches and the stars fade, the promise of another wild day returns, each night a reminder of the beauty, mystery, and interconnectedness that define this untamed land.